Peter Beats here from Pop Turnet is speaking to a member of the Florida Panthers in the National Hockey League. We're talking to AJ Greer. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You know, like I said, we're like, you get asked hockey questions all the time and everything. So we're gonna have one, and we're gonna get it out of the way a little bit. I mean, joining the Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers. I mean, there's a lot kind of happens with decisions on where you sign when you go to a new team. How has that adjustment been for you, and what's that like being with the defending champs?
Yeah, it's been good. It was a decision I took. Obviously, I looked at all the factors. You obviously first look at the offer, and then you kind of look at the lineup, what the team has to offer as far as your opportunity, and then the team's identity. And I thought that everything kind of checked the boxes for me. And of course, the life off the ice is amazing here. So the identity for the team is definitely something that resonates with my game and how I play hockey, and kind of really worked out well. 2-year deal, really happy to be here, and so far I've really loved my time here, and I think that personally I've really liked my season so far.
Absolutely. When you're younger, you kind of get involved with a lot of activities. You get involved with sports. You get involved with a lot of stuff in the entertainment world as well. You get involved with music and other hobbies. What was your big kind of first love, would you say? Was it sports? Was it music? Because we're going to get into that. Like, what would you say was your first kind of big kind of love specifically?
It definitely was hockey.
Yeah.
I played every sport, and from football, baseball, basketball, soccer, I really played them all. I tried everything, and the one that really stuck was hockey, and that's what kind of brought my competitive juices out the most. And yeah, I just really fell in love with the game, and if I wasn't playing hockey, I was something with music or video games. I was definitely a computer nerd, and always kind of doing something with tech.
It's kind of funny because I played a lot of video games growing up too. Of course, the NHL soundtrack, NHL games, but also a lot of other games too, like Tony Hawk, Underground, and everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All the music I discovered was for video games. That was like before kind of Spotify and everything. It's crazy to think that's how we discovered a lot of our music, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And actually, to this day, I hear songs that I'm like, oh yeah, that was from the NHL game in 2008.
It's so crazy. For you as a professional athlete, there always has been that, because I've spoken to, I recently spoke to Loud Luxury as well about this, and I'm asking you the other side of things, right? Because they are, electronic music, they work in EDM, electronic music, and they're big fans of hockey as well. So I'm asking you the same question that I asked them, but you're on the other side of it because you're the professional athlete. But there's always been this kind of cross-pollination, right, between sports and music, right, where professional athletes, play instruments and everything. Like there's a lot of musicians that play sports. There's always been that. When would you say you started to really notice that? Did you notice that kind of like the relationship between like athletes and musicians, like during college, like junior? Did you learn that more in the pro setting? I'm just curious about that, when that you really noticed that.
I mean, I think athletes in general, they want to be challenged in different ways, and when their physical body's kind of at the peak and they have no juice left to give physically, I think you want to be creative and be challenged in another way mentally. And guys have different ways to spend their time outside of their sports. For me, music has always been a passion of mine. From the day I was born, really. My dad was exposed me to a lot of different music from his time, and whether that was in the car or at home, 24/7 music was on. And so that's how I got exposed to music. And I tried guitar lessons. I liked guitar, but I couldn't practice, really. I didn't have time, and I couldn't stay still, really, to learn the musical notes or whatever. But I was always fascinated with it. I was a singer growing up. And once I hit puberty, that was done. I mean, yeah. So for me, music was always, something that was around.
Yeah, absolutely.
My whole life.
And you know, you're doing the music in the room as well. You are the DJ in the room, right? Which
Yeah.
is pretty crazy. You don't have to, you know, say names, but it's like, you know, I'm wondering in regards to the different kind of is there like a playlist that's consistent? Is there some requests that get thrown in here and there? Do you take requests or is it kind of your world?
Yeah. No. I definitely take requests, but I mean, I'm I used to DJ in a few clubs, and so for me to play a playlist and play the same songs, like I can't. I
Yeah.
just can't do it. So I always switch it up.
Mhm.
To be honest, I try not to play the same song like twice the
Yeah.
whole year, which is
Wow.
which is a lot of music. So I try to curate playlists, you know, before the day before or whatever. I try to find new songs, and yeah, I mean, I have a big inventory in my phone of what I want to play and what I think will get the boys going.
Yeah.
We'll switch up styles here and there. Like right now, we're on a 5 game heater, and a 4 game or 5 game heater, and we've only played rock. We started in Nashville,
Yeah.
and so I played rock the whole time, and we haven't lost since. So I'm still on the rock right now, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep doing rock until we lose. But you know, after that, switches up. I go EDM, I go rock, I go you
Mhm.
know rap, hip hop, old school rap. Yeah,
I was
kind
hoping
of
that
just
there was some rock and some metal in there because that's my favorite music as well. What are some of the
yeah,
rock songs?
definitely.
What rock bands are you guys playing on this heater?
A lot. From ZZ Top to Nirvana to uh, Van Halen. You know all of it. Mostly classical rock.
Yep,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, definitely the essentials.
Yeah,
Um,
no, for
and
sure. That
a
sounds great.
little metal in there too.
Yeah, of
You know, like
course.
yeah, it's good. It's good.
Absolutely. You know, last also kind of big in-depth question before we wrap up here. I find it interesting because, you know, the life of, you know, professional hockey player is, you know, making a schedule outside of, you know, the life of a hockey player, right? Your games, the practices and everything. And I feel like it's interesting for AJ Greer because you discussed, you know, the fact that, you know, you're going to put some time for your family and friends and there's going to be some times you're going to watch films and everything, but you're also into music, right? And you DJ, you do a lot of that. So what is that like for you? Given that there's a lot of other things and a lot of other hobbies, because you know some people you know might have one or two things. You seem to have a lot going on. Like off ice, what is that like for you with your routines specifically? Like, do you have certain days where you're working on songs? Does it change? Do you have some days where you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna watch some stuff today and just dial it back, play video games? I'm just curious about that.
I'd say the last year, I have a 1 year old, so I haven't had much time to sacrifice to music, and if I do, it's on the road.
Yep.
Uh, you know, here and there, it'll be a few nights where I'll have some energy and I'll hop onto my laptop and make some music. But yeah, on the road mostly, I'll have some time, and you know, when we were in LA, I have a few studios out there that I usually go to, so I was able to go on a day off. And in the summer too, I have some time off, obviously. So I'd say a day to day, like I'm very spontaneous, and
Yep.
whenever I have time and energy, and you know, whenever those creative juices are flowing, that's when I try to hop on my laptop. And I haven't really worked on specific projects the last year because I haven't had you know a block of time
Mhm.
sacrificed to music. So I've really just tried to create some stuff, make some music off the top of my head, and
Mhm.
send it off to some of my friends who can complete it. But definitely, I want to get back to that, and you know maybe this summer once I you know I get a bigger spot and I can actually dedicate a studio space to in my house.
Mhm.
I actually had one in Boston. I had bought a place in the summer in Southie, and we got a 3 bedroom, and one of the bedrooms I turned into a studio, and that was a
Wow.
crazy spot. And so I had a lot of fun there. And then you know, a month later, I got put on waivers,
Mhm.
and went to Calgary. So I don't have that spot anymore. But you know, it's touch and go. I don't watch many movies or shows because I just can't sit there too often. And if I do watch something, it'll have to be like something that'll like really get me going. I'm watching Severance right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've interviewed some of the cast of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it took a little bit to get going, but what a show! I mean, that and Westworld, shows like that, I really enjoy because they keep you on the edge of your seat and they keep you wondering what's going on. But yeah, I kind of just go with the flow right now, and hopefully I'll be able to get back at it. And I do want to. That's one of my goals for sure in my life is releasing a project.
Yep.
And I'm, who knows? My 1-year-old son, I might inspire him into being interested in doing what I do and having an interest in music. And who knows? But I definitely want to do something for fun. And again, it's a hobby. It's something I do on the side, and it's something that gets my creative side flowing. But in no way is it something serious that I need to do right away. So
absolutely,
it's fun because I have some friends that do this for a living, and it's a hard thing to do, and it's a hard environment. Dealing with labels, dealing with having to make 100 beats, 500 beats a month, and then you've sent it to every artist and not one artist hit you back. Yep. And then next thing you know, you sent 10 beats a couple months later to 2 artists, and you get 2 songs on an album, and that's your paycheck right there. So it's very inconsistent, and it's a hard market to be in. Yep. Once you're good at it, and once you find the right people to have relationships with, I think it's a cool thing to do. But I'm lucky to do it as a hobby, and I've the coolest thing for me is I've met a lot of cool people in that industry who I've learned from and just can kind of connect with on another level other than sports.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
A lot happening off and on the ice for AJ Greer. Let's be honest, which is great. Thank you so much for your time. It was really great to chat with you about, your music stuff and, all the best with the rest of the season with the Florida Panthers, man. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.